Jay Tatum, Kelly Blau looks forward to the Boston Marathon every year, and it's become a family tradition. But today she was thankful that she was at home watching it on TV. Kelly Blau has run the Boston Marathon many times.
This was going to be the 5th, and we always like to make that kind of a family trip and take the kids.
She was heartbroken a few weeks ago when an injury sidelined her.
And I pouted about that all weekend. I was still kind of plotting in the back of my head, even on Saturday, about how I could go and run it.
And then.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Really, just to know that I should have been there, and I could have been there, but I'm just so thankful that I wasn't, and my kids and my family.
For Kelly, it gets even more eerie. The bombs went off at about 3 hours and 40 minutes into the race, and that made her heart skip a beat.
Most of the time when I run a marathon, I'm anywhere from 3:30 to 3:40. That's pretty much where I land every time. And so not only knowing that that was my time, I could have been passing by there, but my family would have been there. Right where one of the explosions happened, we saw it on TV. My husband and my kids and my dad stood there last year.
Kelly says surreal is a word that describes her feelings today. Also, she definitely feels for her fellow runners and their families.
For a lot of runners, it may be a one-time experience. It's the run of a lifetime. You work so hard to get there and to qualify. Just to really and truly think, I would have been there. I mean, truly, but for the grace of God, I would have been there. And my husband saying Thursday, we're just not gonna go, you're hurt. I just can't even imagine how, your mind won't comprehend that. It can't take it all in.
Now, Jay and Tatum, there were 3 local runners that were actually there. I spoke to Paige Gates and Steve Barones. They are fine. Their families are as well. And I've heard through word of mouth that Michael Crawford and his family is safe as well. Reporting live in the studio, I am Whitney Harding. Sometimes power really can come from just having the opportunity to take the field or even giving a young woman that chance. Life hasn't always been a walk in the park for Martha's senior Jocelyn Lujan. She was born autistic.
We've struggled with getting her out into large, like I say, with crowds. Getting her out there. When she was little, she would scream, she would cry, she hated any of the noises, and I refused to let her be secluded, so I took her everywhere.
Yvonne, a former athlete herself, finally found a way for her daughter to enjoy the company of others.
And then she started with sports, and sports has been the thing that has brought her out, so that's what she loves. It was a hard struggle at first. They would tell her to run and she would fight like a cat because she would not want to run. She hates to run. But she came alive and she started communicating a little bit more.
As she got into her junior, senior year, she was a little more assertive, a little more, aggressive with, hey, this is what I want, this is what I like, so that's what I want to do.
In her senior year, Jocelyn has absolutely shined on and off the field. What she and her mother didn't know was that it was all building up to something magical. In Marfa's final softball game of the year, a playoff game against Haskell, the Maidens got the final out to eliminate the Lady Shorthorns, but the game was far from over.
And then his girls started saying, we're going to have 4 outs, 4 outs.
So I was expecting them to call ball game. And when the ump turned around, looked at the scorer's table, and he says, we're going to have a 4th out. He said, the game's over, but we have a 4th out. And I knew.
And then she went up there, and everybody's just, watching her. And that was pretty much her moment, She hit it up the middle, and the girls from Haskell were cheering her on, our girls.
I took a picture of her hitting. I walked away because I was crying. Came back around, saw them yelling for her to run, got to take another picture of her crossing home plate. It was something that I had never expected to happen. Totally unexpected, but something that just blew me away.
Sometimes the greatest power on the athletic field is not a win, but simply helping someone else to achieve their dream.
Coach White and Coach Ojeda have been with her for a very long time. They know everything that she does and how excited she gets. I heard the Haskell coach tell the girls, throw it around. I want you to throw it around because I want her coming in. And when she came across, just touching that and then turning around, she looks like, I really came across home plate. It was awesome. That's the easiest word to put it.
Tatum, that's right. I am live at Grande. Right now, some high school soccer playoffs are going on inside the stadium. So we have a few cars kind of out here driving around and parked. But tomorrow, this place is going to be hopping and it's going to be flooded with red and black. For some Tech fans, Bobby Burns, Jay Isaacs, and Tim Culp are a superhero trio. When they joined forces, they were able to negotiate bringing the Red Raider football team to Grande Stadium.
This has been a vision for probably a couple of years.
We presented a challenge to Kirby Hocutt, the athletic director, and he took that challenge and made it a reality.
And it's very interesting to me because two of us are not Tech grads and one is. So, but I think it tells a story about Midland. We really want Midland to be a part of Texas Tech.
It wasn't an easy road. First, they had to get approval from the NCAA.
Anytime there is a football program or a Division I athletic event that is not a regularly scheduled game and is not in your hometown, that's classified as recruiting and therefore requires NCAA blessing to do that. Kirby Hocutt had that accomplished in 1 week's time.
And then on December 8th, it looked like everything had fallen apart.
Yeah, when Tuberville left, I instantly texted Jay and I said, dude, we may have lost our game because we needed the head coach's approval to come down.
Kirby Hocutt announced Coach Kingsbury coming on board. We thought maybe we're back in.
We're excited to come down there. We had an incredible time at the recruiting roundup we had in Midland. The fan base for Texas Tech there was outstanding.
I don't know when the last time my wife has been this excited about Texas Tech football, but she's sure looking forward to the opportunity as well.
When it comes down to it, this practice is more than football. It's about getting the Permian Basin excited about the Big 12 school that's just down the road.
No matter what fan you really are, we all support Tech, and I think Tech is a big part of Midland right now.
We want the young people here to be exposed to Texas Tech in a wide variety of ways. It's not just football. It's about the university. It's about education.
Midland Odessa has been wonderful to Texas Tech, and Texas Tech loves this area. And I think this is a way for Texas Tech to give back to our community and our surrounding areas.
Now, Tatum, Tech is pulling out all the stops for this event. They're bringing the pep squad, the cheer squad, the band. The pre-game or pre-practice festivities begin at Grande Stadium at 10:30. Doors open at 11:30, and the game is at 1. But wait, there is more. The game is free. That is right. It is free for anybody to watch, so make sure you show up, and make sure you show up early. We have an eager beaver here already. One Lone Ranger, or Lone Red Raider, I guess, trailer is already here, so it's going to be a great day tomorrow. Make sure you come out and have tons of fun. Reporting live from Grande Stadium, I am Whitney Harding. Tatum, back to you. Jay, good evening. I am coming to you live from a shopping strip off of Andrews Highway. As you can see, Big K Gamers behind me to my left. The Odessa Police Mobile Crime Lab is behind me to my right. This has been an active scene, not as much now, but when we got here, it was very active. Like you said, 67 arrest warrants. We have found out that those are for 26 people. So some of those individuals have multiple counts against them, but what are they arresting them for? Well, we also found out it's 3 Class A misdemeanors, and I'm going to tell you about them right now. The first is the promotion of gambling. The second is possession of gambling devices. The third is keeping a gambling place. The punishments could be up to a year in jail, up to a $4,000 fine, or even both of those together. And speaking of possession of gambling devices, I'm going to kind of walk around here real quick and show you the other game room in this area. It's K&K Game Room. It's going to be behind me now, a little bit to my right. When we arrived here, the U-Haul van was here. Odessa Police was loading those gambling devices onto it. So Odessa Police also told us this investigation is ongoing. We're going to keep investigating as well to bring you the most up-to-date information that we have. For now, reporting live from Odessa, I'm Whitney Harding. Jay, back to you. Jay and Tatum, good evening. That's right, I'm coming to you live from Midland at Mid-City Ballpark, where the Boston Red Sox, who are right behind me of the Mid-City Little League, having a special event here tonight. They wanted to honor the Boston marathoners, more specifically Martin Richard, the 8-year-old who lost his life in the bombings. It's hard to believe it was just a week ago that all of this happened. And they really talked about how even though Boston is 2,000 miles away, that this incident really taught the kids and the parents as well, we are the United States. And they wanted to do that. They wanted to show that we are united and that people here in West Texas and in Midland are Boston strong. They actually just went to the middle of the field and had a prayer. And I got to hear a little bit of what they were talking about what this game means to them. And then at the very end, they chanted 1, 2, 3, Boston strong. And that is what is going on here tonight. It does not cost any money to get in and watch a Little League game, but all of the concession proceeds will be going to the family of Martin Richard. His sister, who is now an amputee, they really need the money. So all of the proceeds, like I said, will be going. There are signs as well. The kids have signed the signs, parents have signed the signs, and they're going to send those along with an autographed baseball to the Richard family in Boston to show them that everybody around the country is thinking of them, even right here in little old West Texas. It's going to be a great game tonight. They're taking on the group of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, it was supposed to start at 6 o'clock. First pitch has not been thrown yet. It will be thrown at 6:30. It'd be a little weird if we were standing here on the field and the first pitch had been thrown. So you have some time to get out here. It starts at 6:30, and like I said, they will be taking donations, as well as you can send donations to an address. Coming up tonight at 10, I'll have the full story with the address and all of the information. So don't worry, if you can't get out here, we will have all of that so you can make sure to help out and that everybody can take part in this really interesting idea. It's really a great cause, so I'll have all that information for you tonight at 10. Now everybody, make sure you stay tuned because I'll have your full early sports coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. Just seeing Jayanna amongst her friends and teammates, you would have no idea the struggle she has faced at a young age. After you hear everything Jayanna has been through, you'll be amazed that her capacity for love is so strong and overwhelming. Jayanna Higgs' voice can silence a crowd.
She just does it. I mean, if she can't nail it the first time, she will try it over and over and over again until she gets it. She doesn't ever give up on anything. She brings me to tears when I hear her sing. It's amazing.
At a very young age, I was listening to Mozart and like Bach and all that kinds of stuff. I never actually knew I could possibly sing until 8th grade.
But this is just one of her gifts. Jayanna is also a phenomenal athlete. She's been a varsity cheerleader since she was a freshman and also competes on the gymnastics team.
I think it's because I don't like facing what's at home, and it just pulls me away from things that have happened. And yeah, just being really busy, it just keeps my mind away from everything.
And this is where her story really begins. Her mother, Diana, had Jayanna as a teenager, and while they've always been close, their relationship has been tainted by an outside enemy.
Most of my life she was on drugs, and she was an addict to meth, and I don't know what else. And I would yell at her, and it wouldn't work. So that's why me and my sister gave up, and we said, we have to live with it. There's no choice.
The girls lived in a home where strangers entered and exited all the time. They just saw them as their mother's friends.
I lived in a drug house. I lived in a crack house.
Her freshman year of high school, Jayanna finally had hope for her mother's future. Diana got pregnant with a little boy.
He was supposed to change our lives. He was supposed to be the thing that made my mom stop doing drugs.
But Diana lost the baby. For Jayanna, it was an eye-opener and one of many broken promises.
And I picked him up and I held him, and he was the most beautifulest thing ever, and it was horrible. I think another reason why he passed away too was her drug use during that pregnancy, her not making the right choices. She had always told me that, Jan, I'm never gonna get caught. Like, I don't think the cops will ever catch us.
But in August of last year, the biggest promise Diana made to her daughter ended up getting broken when she was arrested for transportation and possession of drugs, landing her behind bars and away from her children for 6.5 years.
I was so upset that it actually happened because I believed in my mom that she would never get caught. And I believed in that. And then after it actually happened, reality hit and everything, all these emotions were rushing. But through all of that, I had my cheer squad and Coach B and my choir, Miss Riley. They were all there for me in support, and it helped a lot.
Despite the challenges at home, Jayanna never lost sight of her future.
She makes no excuses, and she's an example to other students who might want to have an excuse for something, and that puts her in a leadership capacity.
Some of my teachers would try and go easy on me. I said, no, don't do that. I don't think it's going to help me progress.
Jayanna has never lost love or faith in her mother, and now she sees the arrest as a blessing, putting her mother on the path to being the best person she can.
she might seem like the bad guy, but she's really not. She said that this is only a detour in my life, and this is going to help me, and this is going to help my children, just so I can find my place, so I can get back to them. So, yeah, I think this needed to happen. This needed to happen so that she would be better. She is my main inspiration.